Live in 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. Why is everything frozen up? Don't do this.
We ready right now.
Leave that.
All I know is this violates every canon of respectable broadcasting.
How are you?
Hey, who wants to help me get this recorder out of here? I need some muscle over here.
You are listening to Blame Your Brother.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Blame Your Brother. That's right. We are streaming the show live on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/blameyourbrother or go to blameyourbrother.tv to check it out every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we are, of course, Blame Your Brother. There are two of us that make up this show. I am one half of that duo. I am David, a.k.a. D-Brew, voice of people, Glenn Jackson, the 40%er, spiritual midget, everything and nothing. And I'm joined by this gentleman saying to my left, it is John.
Hey, everybody. John here, a.k.a. Tico, a.k.a. Mr. Groupon, Mr. PTI, the Madman.
They got John Tortorella, a madman. They do have a madman. Okay, he's a madman.
All right, there we go. So we will be streaming the show and recording it for the next hour or so. Got a lot of things to talk about, some big news stories, our weeks, and the Mount Rushmore tonight of, I don't know how to word it, but basically bands that don't belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So it should be an interesting list. My list is very personal. I don't know where you went with your list, but we'll find out when we get there.
There's a few that are personal and some that are just,
I mean,
they're like head scratchers for me.
Yeah, we'll get to, I mean, there's some people that made the list. I'm like, I don't even know who this is. So I'm not going to include them.
Yeah,
like,
there's several for me.
I was like, I don't even know who this is. Like, I love music. I don't know who these people are. But we will definitely get to that. But we will start off by talking about our weeks. So, John, I can just come back from tonight, 5th grade graduation ceremony. Now, I've got some thoughts, you know. Now, I live in Williamson County. This is one of the most affluent counties in Tennessee as far as school districts. Okay, it is the creme de la creme, okay, or whatever the phrase would be in French. And this is people that have means. They have moved somewhere. The school system is doing very well. It is predominantly white. I looked through the crowd today, probably saw 2 black families. So
Are they Tennessee Titans kids?
That could be. I don't know. It was very bizarre. I mean, we always talk about, you know, the experience of black Americans and what it must be like for them, especially to be a black youth, black parent in Williamson County, where it's primarily Republicans, primarily white people, you know. And I looked out the crowd and it really kind of hit me. But here's my point to all that. This is a 5th grade graduation. I said, I did not have this growing up. You said you did?
I did. I missed mine, which was odd, because like I actually had an important role. I was supposed to introduce the mayor. The mayor was coming to our 5th grade graduation. I was supposed to introduce him.
Whoa.
Whatever, there was like some kind of show or like anything that had to be done in front of an audience.
Yeah.
From like 3rd grade on, I was like, get that kid to do it.
Okay.
I don't know if I was one of like the 6 white kids in our school, and they were like, "Hey, we need to get some diversity on the stage here."
So you were like the opposite.
Yeah,
of Williamson County.
Yeah, I was the opposite of Williamson County. But I mean, I was a decent reader, so I mean, I could speak in front of people fairly decently for that age.
There you go.
But I had gotten chicken pox.
Oh man.
2 days before, and
Yikes.
I was out for the count.
Poor John. Well, just very affluent. And these people, so I didn't have one. You missed yours. But
I think, though, the reason why we had one is even to make it 5th grade in Baltimore, it was probably...
Right. Yeah, it was quite a... Well, that's my point. These people were cheering as if their children had just discovered the cure for cancer at this event. It was insane to me. And my thoughts just going through the whole thing. If these kids at this school district are not capable of getting past the 5th grade, which how many kids you know not get past the 5th grade, then the rest of society is doomed. And I just think we're making I know, and this is like old man or some kind of like an old school thought, but this is the participation trophy.
I knew you were going to say
thing.
that.
And it is. I mean, it's like good.
I agree.
I mean, after my son was done, I was like, hey, son, you hit a milestone, and we should celebrate our own milestones, whatever they are, small, big, or whatever. Yeah, it is. I mean, you got past a grade. You're right. Not everyone does do it. There are some kids that don't. The majority do, but it's still a milestone you should celebrate. Your parents should not be up in the stands hooping and hollering as if you just graduated from Harvard University. I just don't get it.
My feeling about these mid-grade graduation ceremonies is like having a birthday party and inviting the city.
Yeah, right.
No. You invite your friends and your family. If it, and to me, I mean, it's like you said. I mean, I'm not giving you cake with candles on it because you tied your shoes that morning.
You're right. It's like
that's a gimme.
Congratulations, you turned 10 years old. Everyone does that. I mean, we're going to celebrate it, but you're right. I'm not expecting the mayor of Spring Hill to show up and cut a ribbon for it. So it's odd, and it's like some kids would get a bunch of applause and some wouldn't. But there was one kid that special needs kid in a wheelchair. Obviously, I don't know what the condition was, but I said that kid, that's who we need to be cheering for. And the crowd did. They cheered for this kid for like a minute. And I mean, I'm getting old. I must be getting soft because I almost had a tear in my eye for this because I was like, that is an accomplishment for them.
Yeah.
My kid, he better get past 5th grade, dude, or I've done something terribly wrong. But I don't know, man. I just look at this. I looked at it, and now as I get older, and I'm getting to the point now where I used to like Rage Against the Machine because of the musical content, not the lyrical content. I'm now getting to the age where I'm liking the lyrical content more. Like I'm understanding all these messages of society is failing. Like these are affluent people in this county that have all the best for them. And all these people are going to probably succeed. But they're also their parents are all like Trump voters. So I'm like, it's backwards. Like, I've been pulling my kids aside and I said, look, my generation, we're done. We didn't do anything we were supposed to do. Okay. Whatever we were supposed to do, I don't think we did it. I said, your generation, honestly, I was seriously having a conversation with him. I said, you're going to have to be the ones to really make change. And he goes, well, Dad, how are we going to make change if they believe the same thing as their parents? I go, well, I guess you're going to have to change your mind. And it's a scary thought that we're not in Baltimore, where the graduation rate is probably, it's not 90% or 99% like Williamson County. It's probably low, and it's just kind of a bummer. But that's what I did. So yeah, and I don't know, man. They made everyone sing the freaking Star Spangled Banner, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm sick of nationalism too.
Yeah.
I'm not. Look, if you want to stand and pledge,
here's the thing. Another little tidbit about Baltimore.
Yeah.
I knew the black national anthem better than I did the Star Spangled Banner.
Stop. Hold the presses. There's a black national anthem.
Yes, it's called "Lift Every Voice and Sing."
Do you know it right now?
I probably forgot most of it by now, but I mean,
wait, you did this at school?
We did it all the time.
Give me some of what you remember. This is John.
It's a little.
Just, whatever you remember.
Lift every voice and sing, let earth and heaven ring. Something sounds of liberty.
What?
Let a resounding rise high as the glistening skies. That's all I can.
This
remember.
Is insane. Yeah. This was done at school
everywhere.
Wow, I love that.
Everywhere.
I kind of dig that though. I love it. I'm just sick of pledging allegiance to a flag. I think this is bonkers. Even as a kid, I thought it was bonkers. And how people get so swept up to, you better stand up, take your hat off, boy, and salute the flag. Like, pledge your allegiance, brother. Do you understand what you're saying? I always goofed on the Jehovah's Witnesses when I went to school and they didn't stand up. And now I'm like, maybe they had it kind of right. If you don't want to stand for it, then don't stand for it. Why are we forcing? You're forcing people.
There's so many contradictions in everything that those types of people do.
I know, right?
I mean, those people are the same ones that rush the Capitol.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Yeah.
I mean,
it's just bonkers. But anyways, that's what I did. And then this week, my wife has been sick with a stomach bug. She got it on like Monday. And then, of course, I got it slight on Tuesday. And that is no fun whatsoever. So that's been my week. Yippee. So getting over that.
I've been fighting an ear infection.
Oh, God.
For the past, I guess, about 3 weeks now.
3 weeks?
Yeah, I went to 3 different doctors.
John, that's not healthy.
I know.
You've gone to 3 different doctors?
I started to get it last week.
Oh, no.
On Thursday night, I started to just feel the pressure.
Yeah.
And then, like, Friday, it started to really hurt.
Oh, no.
And so Saturday, Friday I went to the Minute Clinic. Had to bring the kids in tow. No. Saturday we went to the Minute Clinic. They prescribed me just antibiotics.
Yeah.
It did not work.
Amoxicillin, whatever they gave you.
Yeah, that did not work. So I went through pretty much the whole... just before I finished the prescription, I went to my PCP last Friday, and he prescribed me some drops.
Yeah.
And he said, 24 hours the pain should lessen.
Did it?
No. And so I called his office and I was like, you need to get me into ENT because this is just not working. And so
I didn't know this, John.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I went to the ENT Tuesday.
Yeah.
And he prescribed me stronger drops. So that's where I'm at right now. The pain is significantly less now. So I don't feel like I have to take anything for pain right now. It's not totally removed from pain, but if I don't feel a certain level of pain, I won't need to take anything for it.
Right, yeah.
And so that's where I'm at right now. So I'm not taking anything for the pain right now. So
there's
that. I still feel the pressure and there's still some swelling, but I feel, a whole lot better.
Well, that's good.
So
being ill really makes you, like, there's moments of your life, most of your life, you're fine. Like, you don't even think about pain. You don't think about existing. You just you're bored. Like, you get bored. You're like, I'm bored right now. I'm bored of life. And then being sick, you're like, oh, no, I want to go back to that. Like, can I go back to being bored, please? Yeah. And that's wild. Like,
I'm at a point in my life where I appreciate being bored.
I'm with you. But isn't that what life is? It's just good, something really bad. And you learn to get over it, and then it's good again. But it's just this roller coaster of just good and bad. And it's kind of wild as you get over just to kind of think about it. I mean, just even this year for me has been like a roller coaster of events, like, all right, we're over COVID. Oh, my mom passes away. Oh, I did this. And now it's just like, it's insanity how life works like that. So,
by the way, I don't know if people can see, I wore this shirt. It's a American Red Cross for donating blood. And
okay.
I know that was really important to your mom.
Nice.
So
well, good. There you go.
That's why I wore this shirt today.
Very nice. Very nice. So, all right. Well, we definitely got some news stories we're going to touch on here. We got a couple of crazy things happening. So let's start off with a couple of notable deaths this week. First off, we had 3. They come in 3s and this week delivered. So first off, the first death this week was Mr. New Jack. The wrestler who was on our Mount Rushmore of most hated wrestlers. And, it's kind of a badge of honor for someone like that. I mean, he wanted to be hated. This was a guy that wanted people to hate him,
Yeah.
It's not like we're, knocking the guy. But, all right, so New Jack, a.k.a. Jerome Young, died at 58 years old of a heart attack. And, we've discussed him before. A wrestler that pushed the boundaries, that did hardcore matches, that intentionally injured people at times, and he left a legacy behind. He won't be forgotten, that's for sure. Yeah. And, wrestling fans definitely know him. Then we had the next death was Charles Grodin, the actor, who starred in films like Midnight Run, Beethoven
movies,
which a lot of people probably know him from. He was the lead in The Heartbreak Kid, and he was also in The Great Muppet Caper. And he had a sense of humor that was very dry. He's usually playing like the straight man, but the guy was hilarious. Anytime he popped up in a movie, even like Beethoven, which is like a
slapstick.
Yeah, family kind of friendly, weird kind of thing. He was still like quite hilarious in it, you know. Then we had yesterday, Paul Mooney, comedian, who I know, me and you know him from Chappelle's Show, where he played. I'm just gonna say the name, and if we get canceled for it, but his name was
it's his name. It was his character's name.
Negrodamus. He was a black Nostradamus, and I wrote down one of the bits on the show. People would write him questions. White people would write him questions about black thoughts, and someone on the show wrote, "Why do white people love Wayne Brady?" Because Wayne Brady makes Bryant Gumbel look like Malcolm X. And I think that's all I got to know. But he was a writer for Sanford & Son, In Living Color.
I didn't know he wrote for Sanford &
And In
Son.
Living Color. And so he was well known as a stand-up comedian. In black comic circles, a legend. All time. That's why Chappelle loved him, because he, and he really told it like it was. He had some funny bits. If you want to go back and check him out. The only thing I found out about this guy today, I was kind of just reading up on him, and I guess Richard Pryor Jr. has alleged that he molested him when he was a young child. So, I don't know about that. Mooney says it never happened. Pryor never charged him and never said. I guess he's gone. I don't know if he ever. I guess someone else said it, and I don't know if it's ever been confirmed, but I don't know.
I think if this happened, Richard Pryor's the type of person he'd probably kill him.
Well, they said he had a hit on. He was thinking about putting a hit on him for $1 million. So I don't know. It's wild. Anyway, rest in peace to you three gentlemen. Now, that's the rest in peace moment. I want to get your thoughts on. I know you were a fan of this show, Friends. The reunion is happening on HBO.
I watch it.
You were a fan of Friends.
I was really big into it for the first 3 seasons, and after that...
Okay. I just make sure I didn't remember history. Yeah, so Friends it's a reunion show. It's not a redo of the show. It's not like a show where them getting together, but James Corden is going to sit down with them and ask them the tough questions of, were Rachel and Ross on a break? And tell me, and they go behind and they redo a table read and all this. Are you excited about the Friends reunion at all?
I'm not excited about it, no. It's a nostalgia thing for me.
Will you watch it?
I'll watch it.
It's HBO. Who is your favorite Friends character? I already know.
Chandler.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Who was the least favorite Friends character?
Phoebe.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, interesting. Now, I look at the current cast when they get back together. They've all obviously aged. You can see the age in the guys a lot. Like Chandler Bing is aged considerably. Matthew Perry, I know that's not his real name, but what's his real name?
Matthew Perry.
Matthew Perry. Then who is Joey in real life?
Matt LeBlanc.
Yeah, he's aged pretty well. And David Schwimmer is, these dudes have aged pretty well. You look at these ladies, I'm like, Jennifer Aniston has only gotten better. Like, I don't know how this is possible. And I've always said this about Jennifer Aniston. I know she's a drop-dead, stunningly beautiful woman. If she walked in this room, my mouth would hit the floor. But I've just never had, like, that big, like, love that people have had for her. Like, people are like, oh, Jennifer Aniston, she's just, it's kind of like the Cameron Diaz effect, I call it. Yeah. Cameron Diaz is beautiful. I'm like, I'm not denying she's beautiful. She just doesn't do it for me. Yeah. So did you have the same thoughts on Aniston? Which, like,
when she, in the early seasons, she just looks completely different to me from early seasons to later. From like that 5th season on, she's and even to this day, she's got like a really sleek attractiveness to her, a model attractiveness to her. And I'm actually not. I'm kind of with you on that. It's not really my dig, but in those first few seasons, she was only 26 when she started on the show, and so she still had kind of that baby fat and stuff. Right. And I thought she was way more adorable, attractive, and just the look for her really fit what I liked.
Okay, I hear you.
But
was any of them attractive to you? Did you look at any of the women and Friends and go, yeah, that's they just didn't. None of them did it for me.
I could tell that all 3 of them were attractive people.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But if you were in the social circle, in that you were magically transported on Friends, who would you date if you had to date one of the three based on just their character on the show?
Their character on the show?
Because, I mean, I've watched a little bit of Friends, but, I mean, not Phoebe, obviously.
I mean, just, yeah. There's some characters, and they're you have especially your sitcoms, you've got characters that are just overwhelmingly stupid.
Yeah.
And I just don't like those characters.
I don't either. But that being said, we love Kramer.
He was just out there. He wasn't stupid.
Okay. I mean,
you know what I'm saying. You know, just like he didn't have like just he was just out there.
Yeah, that's true. I guess he did have.
He wasn't like just dumb.
Right. Well, I felt like on that show you had two stupid people.
Yeah, Joey was the same way.
I mean, just
and
like
if you ask me my next least favorite character, it'd be Joey.
I mean, yeah, I just never. The limited time I watched it, and I've said I'm not really a fan of it. I never go back and rewatch it ever. Like if it's on, I'm like skip. But we're to believe that Chandler and Joey were like best friends. I don't see it, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a weird show to me anyway. But it caught on. People liked it. And people are very excited about this. And people now are upset that James Corden is the one hosting it. They thought that a past guest on the show should have hosted it. This is what we're outraged about now. Of course, James Corden's going to probably host. He has a late night show, you morons. He talks to people every night.
You want somebody that's good at being a host.
Right.
I mean, who are you going? You going to get Brad Pitt to come up there and host it?
That was the name they listed.
No.
Tom Selleck, Brad Pitt. I was like, all right. Come on, guys. Is our outrage now that Trump left? Is this where the outrage is going to? Is it like, well, we can't really be bad, I mean, there's stuff we could be mad at, but let's just be mad at James Corden. People don't like James Corden, which I think the guy's likable. I don't really get it. I mean, what's your thoughts?
I think he's very likable. Okay. I don't watch the show a lot, but I do watch some of the clips. If there's a musical guest that I really like, and they do the in-car karaoke.
Yeah,
carpool karaoke.
Yeah, that's great.
I'll watch clips of that all day and all night. In fact, the one with Paul McCartney.
It's a great one.
Oh my gosh.
The best one to me is Adele, but yes, the Paul McCartney one was really good. The Adele one was, I mean, I was not an Adele fan. Like she is not made for 40-year-old dudes, but
yeah,
I watched her special. I went, oh, I'm a fan now. This woman's she's hilarious. She could rap, she can sing. So after that, I was like, okay, I'm down with Adele. Like I'm all in on it. So that's pretty cool. So all right, well there you go. That's the Friends talk right there. Last story I guess we'll get to is, dude, are you familiar with this guy Mark McCloskey? Are you familiar with?
Very familiar.
So Mark McCloskey was the guy that he's in Missouri, St. Louis, and he's the guy with him and his wife pulled the guns out on the protesters.
Yeah.
Now, up on the screen now, he is now running for Senate of U.S. Senate for Missouri. And his if you go to his website, he has a campaign, and it's like, I won't back down. I'm surprised he didn't use the Tom Petty song, but he didn't. He goes, and it starts off with, when protesters stormed my house and were going to kill me, I went, all right, bro, let's back that off a little bit.
How many people had guns? Oh, just you.
Yeah, you and your wife, looking like evil James, like reject James Bond villains, This is like, and his quote on his...
if James Bond was produced by the WWE.
There you go. He says, if we don't stand up now and take this country back, it's going away. What does that mean? To you, what does that mean? As if a white upper class man with an AR-15 aimed at protesters says, if we don't stand up now and take this country back, it's going away. To me, that means we white people are about to lose power. And this guy is up for criminal charges right now. He's going to run. I don't know the politics in that area. I don't know if he's got a chance of winning or not.
I mean, misery.
Yeah.
The you got to look at the politics and the laws that have been and are on the books of this country and this state during the entirety, including up into the end of the 1960s. It was still legal to kill.
Go ahead.
A Mormon.
Oh God, really?
Yes.
You
in that state.
Hold on a sec. So if we lived next door to each other, you could walk out in your front yard. I could pull out my AR-15, which I don't know, I mean, if they were around back then, but I could pull out a gun, blast you away. Cops come out. I go, Mormon. They're like, allowed. That's crazy to me, man. Huh.
That was on the books. That was allowed.
The right, man. They just attach themselves to these weird, like this guy. Is this really, like, this guy's going on Hannity. He's going on Carlson, Tucker, whatever that idiot's name is. They're going on all these shows like, this is the guy. You guys don't even know anything about this guy. We don't know if he's even qualified to even be, like, I know there's not qualifications for a senator, but is he qualified to make decisions for a state? I mean, based on your judgment right here, I would tend to say no. I mean, I don't know the man, and I guess I'm assuming him as well, but this here, we pick our leaders based on their decision-making abilities a lot of the time. And if he's out here doing this, you're such afraid of a black crowd, you walk onto your property with guns drawn, ready to kill people. I mean, really let that sink in now. Like, if you've ever, I don't know people that get their guns out and walk around. Like, you understand, like, you're willing to take someone's life away. Like, that is one of the biggest decisions you could ever make in your life.
Yeah.
And they're just like, who gives a damn? Who cares? I mean, if they go down, they go down. It's like, it's insane to me. So I don't know. The guy's back in the news. That was a meme-worthy moment in history, and it's going to live on forever. Whether this guy wants to or not. There are criminal trials coming up in a couple of months, so we'll see what happens with that. If we look at just American culture in general, will he be found guilty? I mean, probably get slapped on the wrist and a fine. But I think there's some moments in the history of criminal justice in America, we have a chance to kind of set a precedent, and they should do something to this guy. Once again, these were Black Lives Matter protests. They weren't storming the Capitol, overtaking it, which we talk about like every week now, because I think this is being downplayed in American history. It's like the Republicans' inability to say, hey, yeah, this happened. These were our guys. Like, you can't say these were radical, your guys. These were your guys. Like, this was your base doing this. This isn't like a jihadist crashing in a 9/11. You go, that's a radical Muslim terrorist that did this. No, these are regular dudes that we all know. I know Trump people that I'm surprised they didn't storm the Capitol, truthfully. They probably didn't have the means to get there. Yeah. And, so I don't know. The guy's a dope. Anyway, there you go. I just had to put that out there. Funny little tidbit of American history. Okay, well, let's get up to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So we got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2021 induction list, and we'll get into this before we jump into the Mount Rushmore. So the people that were inducted in 2021 are Tina Turner, Carole King, The Go-Go's, Jay-Z, Todd Rundgren, Foo Fighters, Kraftwerk, Charlie Patton, Gil Scott-Heron, who's a producer, Billy Preston, LL Cool J, Randy Rhodes, and Clarice Abbott, who I don't even know who that is. But just looking at this list, John, who sticks out to you? Is there any
Foo Fighters, Carole King, Tina Turner, all hands down.
Well, tell me about Carole King. What would I know her from? I know the name, but I can't.
Just her contributing a lot of stuff. She was out around the same time as your James Taylor and that kind of
that era,
that group.
I got you.
But she did a lot of behind the scenes stuff. Speaking of behind the scenes stuff, as far as guitar players go, Randy Rhodes.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
Yes,
taken way too early from us.
So yeah, definitely. He definitely deserves on there.
I look at just Foo Fighters as just this crazy story. Like, if this was in a movie, you'd be like, okay, it's a little bit much. The drummer in one of the biggest rock bands in the history of music, you know, whether you like Nirvana, you don't, they change music.
Well, definitely.
This was the drummer in that band. Lead singer kills himself. The band breaks up. This guy starts his own band. I remember buying the Foo Fighters album when it came out. I listened to it. I went, this is pretty good. Too bad this is probably it for this guy. That's what I thought. There were some good songs on that debut album, and then they just they kept going, and the hits kept rolling. And I just said, I'm a fan of this band. Honestly, at this point, and I love Nirvana. It's one of my favorite 3 bands ever. They've got, I mean, I hate to say this, but they've got a better work. I mean, they've got a better. I'm trying
catalog.
to say, yeah, they got a better catalog. Obviously, they got more, but I just think Dave Grohl's written some really great songs that are, if they're not better than, they're as good as stuff Kurt was writing.
And I mean, Dave Grohl just seems like such a personable person.
Right.
Like if there's somebody that I could pluck from that's famous right now.
Right.
And he's not my favorite, but just to hang out with.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He'd probably be at the top of my
100%.
list.
He's killer, dude.
I mean, there's others. I mean, I'd love to hang out with Adam Duritz, but I imagine that he'd be kind of prickish almost.
Okay, I read an article about him in Spin just a few days ago, and he apparently has dissociative identity disorder.
I could see that.
And he shaved the dreads off. I didn't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I knew that.
So but he talked about he has dissociative identity disorder, and he was talking about how that played into his songs and why he always would want to play a different. They're notorious for, or famously known for, playing different sets every night. A lot of bands, they play the same songs, same city, different city over and over. You know, here's the hits. He drastically changes the set list. If you go see him in St. Louis, you see him in Nashville, and you see him in Florida, it'll be completely different. Like,
that makes a lot of sense because, I mean, the first time I saw them live, he did not play around here.
Right.
In Nashville.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
It's got the word Nashville in the song.
Crazy, yeah.
That's the place you play it.
But we went and saw him, and I mean, I've seen them multiple times, like you have, and I've always been blown away. But anyway, will they ever make the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? God, I hope so. But and we'll get to this later, but will they? They're kind of like some of my favorite athletes. Will they? I don't think they will. I mean, I want them in there, but I don't know if they belong in there. I'll just say that. But Jay-Z's interesting, and it's always the conversation where, rockers, man, we're looking at this list, man, Jay-Z doesn't belong in here. And people get Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they think it's a rock and roll, man. Why's Notorious B.I.G. and Jam Master Jay? And it's music. Yeah. It's just music, people. Rock and roll is a base term for music.
I also think that there's a hint of when I was looking, doing my research for this Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
A lot of not all of them, and some of those that don't are going to appear on my list, but there's certain vibes that a lot of the people, majority of the people in their lifestyle have.
Yeah.
That they kind of led a rock and roll lifestyle.
That's true, yes.
That's why, I mean, Garth Brooks, not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Kind of weird, right?
Johnny Cash is.
Yeah.
Look at Johnny Cash's lifestyle.
I mean, yeah. I mean, look, I love Johnny Cash. I like Johnny. I don't know if I love Johnny Cash. I like a lot of his songs. But, yeah, he's not far away from Garth Brooks. I mean, neither of them are really playing country music. I mean, You look at Johnny Cash's music, a lot of it was not country music. It was like it was rockabilly music.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up, I hear the train a coming. You think that's country? No, I mean, he had a couple.
Get the rhythm.
Yeah, right. He had a couple of country themed songs, but not really. So if he's in it, Garth Brooks may in it one day, and I wouldn't have a problem with that. Garth Brooks deserves in a music hall of fame for sure. He's another one. Changed the genre. For better, for worse, he changed the genre of music during his time period. A lot of people say for worse, but still,
I mean, there's a lot of people that would have never put out country albums if it wasn't for him.
And like I said, probably for better,
for worse. But I mean,
but Jay-Z, he's more rock and roll than rock and rollers today. A lot of the rap stars, Kanye, Jay-Z, all the new fresh like Tiger, all these dudes, I can't think about. I mean, Lil Wayne, all those dudes are like, they're rock and rollers today. They are the spirit of rock and roll. Rock and roll's like dead. These guys are living it now. So am I a fan of Jay-Z? I like his hits, but I'm not a fan of Jay-Z. He's not in my Mount Rushmore of rappers, but to underplay his importance to rap and hip hop would be stupid. Yeah. Like, obviously,
he's done a lot. He's contributed.
Right. Now, the Go-Go's, I could take them or leave them. But, with female rockers, it's hard for me. I love female, like, Americana or, like really good just songwriters that are in the pocket. But female rock and roll, I think it's tough for people to...
I think some of them definitely fill the bill. Heart.
Oh yeah, the Killer.
Oh my gosh.
Right, Killer. Yeah.
Joan Jett.
Well, see, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to spot. Joan Jett's not on my list. She may be on yours, but a lot of people do not think she belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But
a lot of the hits that their band has had, most of them were covers.
Right.
And so, I mean, I kind of get that. But is Elvis Presley in the Hall of Fame? Yes, he is.
Was he? Yeah. Was he writing his own songs? No, I don't believe any. Technically, I mean, he may have a co-writing on some.
He co-wrote.
Co-wrote.
Rockin' Robin with Bobby Day, not Bobby Day. Bobby Day's the one who performed
whoever it was,
but Carl Perkins.
Okay. And what's that mean? I've heard.
And so, but he never recorded the song.
Right.
So that's out the window as it is. I mean, so yeah, he didn't do a whole lot of writing.
But once again, like, I mean, Elvis, obviously, if you were making a top 10 list, if we could only list 10, that probably should have been, we should have made a different, like, we should do a list one day of, we can only list 4 people to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Who would our 4 people be? So that might be come down the line later. But anyway, so it's some interesting names on there. And congratulations to all of them. Whether we think they belong in there or not, they did important things with their life that will be lived on forever. If you're not a fan of them, tough. You're not a fan of everything. But they obviously were important enough to make the cut, is how I look at it. But that being said, now it's time for the Mount Rushmore.
And I guarantee we're going to get heat all over the place.
Oh, I'm ready. I want the heat.
Yeah,
I want the heat. So it's time for the Mount Rushmore of, I'm trying to think how we just word this. Mount Rushmore of bands that don't belong.
Undeserved Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Hall of Fame.
Mount
inductees.
Rushmore of undeserved Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. Okay. So, John, I believe you go first this week. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know who's on your list.
I'm all over the place.
Oh, me too.
So I'm going to get some heat. I am fairly sure that my number one is nowhere near your list. Not that you don't think they belong, but just that they're like so off your radar that you just don't care about them.
Okay, we'll see. All right,
I picked this band because they embody nothing to do with rock and roll.
Oh no!
Not the lifestyle, not the style of music, nothing. They've had successful careers. They got lots of hits.
Oh no!
But I just do not like this band, and a lot of, especially women, who are fans of music in the 70s, are gonna dislike me for saying this. But my number one choice for bands that do not belong in the Hall of Fame is ABBA.
Oh, you know what? Definitely was an also ran for me.
What's that?
Yeah, it was an also ran for me.
Really?
I didn't have them on the list, but they could have made it in another universe. ABBA, man. Okay, so
I mean, they've had hits. I mean, Fernando, Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia.
Did they change music?
I don't think so.
You're probably right, man. I mean, they probably inspired Ace of Base, but who not our age knows who Ace of Base? If you went up to a 20-year-old right now and said, Ace of Base, who's that? They'd be like, huh?
I'm saying that Olivia Newton-John could have done any one of their songs.
Okay. So, talent. They have the talent, though. You got to admit they're talented, right? I don't know. I'm asking you. I don't know. Vocally.
Like I said, I mean, vocally, do their songs sound horrible? No. I just do not like them.
I'm not an ABBA fan either. I've never been. That's wild. Okay. Well, I mean, who cares? People are going to get mad at this list anyway.
Yeah. So.
Oh, well, I'm bringing more heat than now. My number one. Okay. Like I said, this is a very personal list for me.
Okay.
These are bands that I just don't understand the appeal for. I think they're more of an idea than substance. And the band that I hate the most in life, and most of these are going to be bands I don't like, but I think most overrated band in the history of rock and roll music.
I know you're going to say.
The Doors, dude. I hate the Doors so much. I think they're the most overrated. Jim Morrison was a hack of a songwriter. I don't think they added anything to the groove of music.
I mean, they say Light My Fire was just ripped off.
Probably so.
I can't remember what this other song was.
Huh.
No, not that one. He ripped off the other big hit.
Break on through to the other side.
Yeah, they said that.
Oh God, he stole
all
it.
day and all through the night.
Oh, it does sound like that. Now that you say that,
It's almost like
If you like Jim Morrison, we're probably not going to be friends. This guy was he was an a-hole his entire life. He was a drunk. He thought he was he had some spirit in him, a Native American spirit guiding him through his life. And I just think the songs are not good. I think the sound is terrible. I think the tone is bad. I know people Nickelback sucks, and I think their tone has issues of music. I'm talking about the guitar tone, the sound of the music tone. The Doors tone, I can't stand. I love the organ. I hate it when they play it. That's how I know I hate it. I hate it when they play. I'm like, please, I would destroy all the organs in every song ever if I didn't have to hear them ever play again. So, my number one.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
The Doors. All right. Number two for Mr. John.
I'm going to take some serious heat from this one.
Okay.
I am a fan of this person.
Okay.
But there is, to me, a huge leg up for people who are in bands and the band gets in and then they get in later.
Okay.
And in my heart of hearts, I feel that
if
their band did not exist, they would be nowhere near consideration.
You're going to get slaughtered, bro.
I'm not going who you think I'm going to go for.
Well, go ahead, whoever it is.
Jeff Beck.
Oh, Jeff Beck. Wow, you have upset every guitar head that's ever lived with that. I mean, that guy.
Yeah, I know.
But
I don't even think he's the best guitarist in the Yardbirds, but
I mean, there's a point to be made there for sure.
So,
why is Jeff Beck in the Hall of Fame?
That's my quantum. That's my.
Did he release solo albums?
Take away the Yardbirds, does he belong in the Hall of Fame?
What was he in? He was in Faces, right, with Rod Stewart. But no, this is the individual, right?
Yes, because Faces is in it as well.
Right. Why is Jeff Beck in it? I mean, there's got to be a reason. Did this guy put out solo albums we don't know about?
This is why he's on my list.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm a fan. I think it's phenomenal, but
yeah, I mean,
as a solo,
right? Well, then you have to start putting every great guitar player in separately. Okay, well, it's time to put David Gilmour in, and I guess we'll put Keith Richards in.
Dwayne Allman.
Why is Jimmy Page not in individually? If Jeff Beck is in, Jimmy Page should be in individually. I mean, what is the logic there? Unless he has, I don't know he has some great career. I've never heard any of his solo songs if he has any.
I know he's done a lot on the background of stuff, but I mean,
no, this has got. If you are in as an individual, you have to be the front man,
and it's
face
as a performer.
Yes, as the main guy.
Now, if there's people on that are in the Hall of Fame,
Santana,
that are not. It's the band Santana. It's not
okay,
just him.
That's true. Okay, good point. Good point.
I mean, that one it's just confusing.
Okay, that's
but
I
mean,
good point.
But it is the
who
band.
Who are you gonna go with? Who's?
But Berry Gordy is in the Hall of Fame, but not as a performer.
As a producer / okay. Jeff Beck is in as
a
artist.
performer.
That's stupid.
And so I don't.
I'm with you. Terrible.
I mean, like I said, big fan, but I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I'm gonna keep pissing people off. I don't really care. Another band I hate. And when you say not rock and roll, man, I don't know this band's history too well. Whenever I hear this band, I never ever have thought rock and roll. I thought just dad rock, but not even dad rock. I mean lame dad rock. When you go to when you're 40 years old and you go to parties, people be playing music. So you, if you don't know someone and you go to their house and you hear the tunes, you're like, oh God, not this guy. I know it's going to get a lot of heat. I know they've got the hits, but I would take the Eagles out right now. I can't stand the Eagles. I hate them so much. I hate, once again, I just think they're pretentious. I know they were somebody's backup band, and then they started Linda Ronstadt. They should have stayed there. I wouldn't hate them so much, but it is just, I mean, don't like Hotel California. I can respect it's a good song. It's never on any playlist. I'm not playing it at a party. I'm never deep cut on it. I think it's kind of an overrated kind of Jim Morrison. It's so deep, man.
I think Hotel California is overrated, but
it's so deep, bro. Well, give me some
Desperado
songs.
Was a great song.
Oh, I can't.
I love Desperado.
I hate that song. I hate that. God, what's some of their other songs
Take It to the Limit.
Oh God,
Take It Easy.
Please stop. Please stop. It's
Peaceful, Easy Feeling.
It's making my ears hurt even saying them out loud because I think they're such a trash band, and people People treat them like they're the next coming of Jesus from the 70s. There were better bands doing what they were doing that do not get the love. If you want yacht rot, go to the freaking Doobie Brothers or something. Get these dudes out of the way. Get them gone. Dude, they're so... If I need to go to sleep at night, just don't put on the Eagles because I'll probably stab my eyes. Well, I might fall asleep that way, but I would toss the Eagles out because I hate them so much. So that's my number 2, the Eagles.
All right. Shots fired.
I've got some strong opinions there, John.
Until I did my research, I did not know who this person is. So this
that's
is why
that's a good sign.
This is why they're going in, and that's Clyde McPhatter.
What? I don't even know how to spell that, bro. What?
It's Clyde, CLYDE.
Yeah, I got that part.
Mc, McPhatter.
Okay. Give
Oddly
us a little
enough,
history of Clyde McPhatter.
He was in the Platters, which the Platters went in.
Okay.
So
he went in individually.
And he went in individually in 1987.
Dude, you could take the most hardcore music. You could take a group of 25 of me. You could put that dude's picture on a wall. None of us would know it. We don't know any of his songs. We don't know who the guy is. How is this dude, once again, how is this guy in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? There's got to be some story here we're missing. You sure it's as a performer?
Yeah, as a performer.
He didn't perform anything. We don't even know who this dude is. What era is this dude from?
I mean,
the Platters.
The Platters. So
50s, right?
50s and 60s, yeah.
I used to live on oldies radio. My dad would play oldies radio.
Oh, yeah.
Every day we would work together. Yeah, we worked at an apartment complex. We would paint apartments, clean apartments.
I've seen tapes.
Yes.
In the shop.
Yes. Oldies.
Yeah.
Oldie.
Yeah.
It was oldies or Elvis or Barry Manilow.
Or early country.
Yeah.
Like late 80s country.
Which he didn't play that much, but we would listen to oldies so much. I could tell you play an oldie song for me. I'll be, oh yeah, I recognize that one. I've never heard this dude before in my life. I've heard the Platt. I've never heard this dude.
Yeah.
Good choice. All right, Clyde McPhatter, or however you say that name. All right, I'm just gonna keep upsetting people, and I don't really care, dude. Okay, that's the point.
I know who you're gonna say this time.
You don't, because I've got so many I could pick from, John. I know you've got ideas, but okay. If we look at 80s hair metal,
this person who I thought you were gonna say.
No, it's not that guy.
Oh,
but it should be. But I'm. You know what? Oh my God. No, I'm going to go with my original pick. If we look at 80s hair metal, Motley Crue's not in, which is kind of silly to me. Because if these other bands are in, which I'm going to list one of them, if these other bands are in, I'm going to list the one you're thinking of because I can't. This would be a travesty. If you would list the bands that aren't in, Bon Jovi does not belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There's no way. This is what kicked this off, dude. Corey, my brother-in-law, sent me this suggested list. And me and John started talking about it. I said, how is Bon Jovi in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And John tries to jump on and go, well, you had the hits. I'm like, tell me the hits. And you could only name 3 hits he had. One at Dead or Alive, Blaze of Glory. I don't even know what the other hit was because no one can. Living on a Prayer. That's the same freaking song, man. People want to jump on Nickelback for playing the same song. Those are the 3 same songs. The average person, if you played any one of those songs and go, is that Blaze of Glory? Be, yep, sure is. Oh, no, that's the other. I don't even know the difference between them. John, I don't even know the difference between. What do you have? You Give Love a Bad Name. Okay, you tell me that's a great song. You tell me that gets you in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It is a travesty of life. If Counting Crows do not make the freaking Hall of Fame, dude, and Bon Jovi's in, burn it down to the ground. And if you complain about rappers being in and you're cool with Bon Jovi, who was a joke among hair metal bands himself, you have lost your mind. And any of you rockers listening who like that crappy 80s hair metal, which I toss all the 80s hair metal if you want the truth, defend it. Defend Bon Jovi being in there. John, I want you to defend it. I don't even know anyone can defend this guy. He is a hack. Oh, he looks good. Well, good for him. There's a lot of good-looking people that aren't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Why is he in?
I can say if there's you know how a lot of things have a cult following.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi has a following that's not cult. It's out there. It's mainstream.
It's people that don't like music.
It's still.
This is for people that like music, man. That's what the Platters are in. You think people that don't like music like the Platters don't even know the Platters, okay? Maybe this McFadden dude, maybe he wrote music. Jeff Beck. Look, I agree with you. He doesn't belong in. But at least the man loves, music lovers love him. Music lovers don't like Bon Jovi. hipsters like me, I'm a music hipster. We don't like the guy. He's trash. That being said, I mean, if the songs come on, I will listen to him to some degree. But once again, just because I like an athlete in a certain career of his life doesn't mean he belongs in the freaking Sports Hall of Fame, man. Bon Jovi sucks.
I think
dude. He's trash. Dude.
I
Get
think
him out.
mainstream popularity has something to do with
It shouldn't.
that.
Well, it shouldn't.
But it does.
But it's lame.
But it does.
The Nickelback's getting in.
Nickelback has taken heat, though. Way more heat than Bon Jovi.
Well, he took heat back in the day.
Way more heat. And the thing is, I mean, those bands have to be represented in some way, shape, or form.
Then put Motley Crue in. Put Motley Crue in.
Motley Crue is way harder than...
Good.
I agree. Motley Crue should have been in a long time ago.
Right.
I agree with you.
Okay.
But if you had to choose between Poison, Bon Jovi, and
I would just jump
Scorpions.
I would jump in front of Scorpions in. I would jump
Name 3 songs by Scorpions.
I would jump in front of a moving train if I had to vote for one of those. They're like, David, your vote gets one of these guys in. I would just jump off a building and go, no, none of them make the cut. I'm not putting any of those bozos in, dude. It's trash. That's my number 3. Bon Jovi sucks, dude. All right, we're up to your last pick. Oh, I've got so many. I wish this was a list of 20 because I had to start sounding off.
I'm gonna go for. I've got a couple more on here that I don't. That I just don't know, but I'm gonna go with. I've got 2 that I'm gonna catch some heat on. I'm gonna go for Percy Sledge.
Percy Sledge? What you got against Percy Sledge, man?
Name a song besides When a Man Loves a Woman.
I couldn't have named that one. I mean, now that you say it, I'm like, yeah, he did that one, but
that's it. That's like his kind of.
When was he around? In the 50s? Was he a black artist? Maybe he's because he's a black artist in the 50s. I don't know. I mean,
a lot of people would say that the best pick for to be in the Hall of Fame period is Chuck Berry. He's black.
Well, hell yeah. I mean, but that guy, that's like Jackie Robinson. The guy changed the game, you know?
Yeah, but Percy Sledge didn't do anything.
I wouldn't know. Percy Sledge, he's probably dead. But if he walked up here,
dead.
Okay, well, if he was come back alive and he walked up here, I wouldn't even,
Here's what Percy Sledge did. He reinvigorated Michael Bolton's career.
Oh, no. What song?
When a Man Loves a Woman.
Is that his song?
He covered it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
And so, just for that reason.
Well, no, according to your theory, Michael Bolton was loved by the masses. So that's why he's in there. Bon Jovi, Michael Bolton they should do tours across America because it's the same group of people that love them both. And hey, do I love some Michael Bolton music? I have to admit I do because I grew up as a VH1 kid. But the point is, it's not good, and I know it's not good. So, Percy Sledge, man. It's just because, okay. All right. Percy's. I'm not disagreeing. My weak spot in music, I can tell you about rock and roll. I can tell you about oldies, rap, hip hop. I can't tell you much about Motown music. I know what it is.
If we were doing a blanket.
Yeah. Oh,
I would put Barry Gordy on my list just because of the negative stuff he's done and pushed people down. You know, like we talked about when we talked about most hated wrestlers. And
yeah.
I put Moolah on my list.
Yeah. Oh, Gordy was like that?
Yeah, but with like talent.
Okay. I need to do more.
He was
research.
buying contracts and songs from people for like
nothing.
Dollars.
Yeah. But that's all those sharks like that, man. But
the thing is, he'd turn around and be like, "Oh, I'm here to uplift these black musicians," and like,
yeah, no, that's terrible.
You're screwing these guys.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
I would equate him to being that guy who was selling slaves in Africa.
Oh God!
Yes.
Oh no!
Horrible person.
Oh no! Okay, Percy Sledge. All right, I'm gonna go one last one now. I could piss off all of our friends of Cobras and Fire. I could have said Kiss, but I don't really believe that. I thought about it. I thought just going heel and just saying Kiss. Okay? I could have said John and said Chicago, but I don't really feel that way. I got to say my last spot for a band that everyone who knows me, I hate the Doors. I hate the Eagles. I don't know, most people know I don't like Bon Jovi, but Red Hot Chili Peppers in a freaking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, bro. come on, man.
We discussed this last week, and
Red
I mean,
Hot Chili Peppers. Bam, 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 bam. That's every song, okay? Here's my problem with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. 3/4 of the band, outstanding. Great musicians, white guys playing funk, whatever, man. I mean, people do it. It's white, blue-eyed soul. Anthony Kiedis is the reason this band does not belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, okay? He is the weakest link. He is such a weak link. The rest of the band is the 96 Bulls. He is such a bad player. If he'd been on the 96 Bulls, they would have lost everything. Even with Jordan, that's how bad Kiedis is, Aquarius-wise. Look, do I like some of their songs? Yes, I do like some of their songs, but some of their songs are so stupid. The lyrics never make any sense. Like, I'm not even going to do it. They're blatant racism on one of their songs where he's going, ding dong, ding ding dong, ding dong dong. You're out. In this cancel culture of 2021, dude, how can you have a song where you're mocking a Chinese accent and these dudes are still in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? It's absurd, man. It's absurd. And look, if you like them, good for you, but they're just not good enough to be in there. I'm not saying they're the worst band of all time. Doors, they're pretty bad. Eagles, look, I don't like them. Whatever. Chili Peppers, I'm not saying they're a bad band. I'm saying they're not good enough to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. People look back like they're this great band that changed. They changed nothing. If you take them out and you throw them out of rock and roll history, nothing changes. Nothing. Well, probably people are alive because people died of heroin being in that band. So I don't know, man. I was a Chili Peppers fan for like half a minute in my life, and I just couldn't do it anymore. Listen to those lyrics. A lot of it's just bad lyrics. Like the Doors with that fake poetry. The Eagles was stupid. Oh, we're so deep, man. The Hotel California. All right, dude, whatever. Red Hot Chili Peppers, it's garbage. What I got, you got to give it to your mama. What I got, you got to give it to your papa. What? What are you saying, man? These are just category words. They don't even make any sense. I can't believe they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And once again, if the Counting Crows don't make it and that band's in, it's a travesty. If you're telling me musically wise, lyrically wise, performance wise, Counting Crows is way better than Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, light years.
I mean, lyrically alone, it's done, dude.
Yeah.
So that's my last band, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Now, I could have said Richie Valens. Why is he in? He had one hit. La 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 bamba. He died. Oh, what, everyone that dies gets in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? No, I don't think so. Hold the gate. That's about it. Kraftwerk, who Corey texted me. I don't know anything about Kraftwerk. Some German band that did.
Gene Vincent. Don't know who he is.
Don't know who that is.
Solomon Burke.
I've heard of the name, but I don't.
Yeah. And another controversial one that I might have caught heat for that I had on my list was the Dave Clark 5.
Dave Clark 5. What's the song?
Good question.
I've heard of that name so much.
They're all over the place, but nobody knows why.
Is the MC5 in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Because I think they are, and I'm thinking they had one hit once again. Pump out, kick out the jams. Like, are we putting? I
mean, I think the reason why the Dave Clark 5 was
a cool name
put in was because they were trying to capitalize on the whole getting as many English bands coming in. But in their heyday, I mean, I would say that the Bay City Rollers was better than them, and
I know, at least I know some of their songs. SATURDA. That's a great song, by the way. Dave Clark 5, cool name. I'll give him that. Any name with 5, like Ben Folds 5. Ben Folds, will he be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I mean, he deserves to be.
He deserves to be for sure. I'm reading his book right now, and it is so good. I'm going to have to let you borrow this book when I'm done with it. It explains like the background of many of his songs, which I was like, oh, is that where that comes from? Wow, that's cool. Like,
yeah. I mean, a lot of his songs, I mean, his biggest hit probably is Brick.
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah.
And, I mean, if you've heard the song more than once, you know what it's about.
Right.
But even if you take that literalism away from that song, there are lines in that song that can mean so much to so many different people in so many different situations.
Yeah. I mean, as a lyricist and as a vibe, he speaks to me more than any musician I've ever heard in my life. Like, he describes my life at times where I'm like, is this dude right? Like, there's something I'm like, dude, are you writing about me or what? You know, like,
he'll make an analogy with stuff that you're like, how did you pull that from here? And how's that?
Right.
I mean, I get it, but how did you draw those lines?
Oh, he's so good. So
yeah, definitely.
I don't want to live in a world where Counting Crows and Ben Folds 5 aren't in over these crappy 8-mans we named. That's all I'm saying. So there we go. That was our list. Let us know what you think on social media. I hope to hear from all of you Bon Jovi fans. As John said, you're all out there. But hey, we've come up to the end of the show. It was a good one. It went fast as always, and hopefully you guys learned a little bit about life and crappy bands. But what we need you to do in the meantime is go to our website, which is bybpod.com. That's bybpod.com. Once you go there, all of our past episodes are there. We've got articles that have been written, ways to get to his live YouTube show, which is Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Come hang out. If you're shopping on Amazon, there's the Amazon affiliate link. It's right there. Just click on that. It takes you to Amazon. You buy everything like you normally would. We get a kickback. It does not charge you any extra, so it helps you support the show, bybpod.com. Well, it's been a good one. Hopefully we will hear back from the masses on this one. And with all that being said, John, is there anything else?
Don't blame yourself when you can blame your brother.